Hello, welcome everyone to this week's episode of 2020 Ministries. It's a very big weekend, Mother's Day. Mother's Day, the most important the most important person in anyone's life is their mother, in my opinion. The good Lord knows where I would be today without the love and care that my mother gave me and showed me and never gave up on me. So this one's for you, Mom. I love you. So today we're going to talk about a mother called by God. And moms, you guys have a hard road as a mother. If evolution were true, mothers still would not have just the two hands. I think you guys would have evolved by now to have more than the two that the Lord gave us. But I do want to have like a small joke to start off. So there was a mother putting her son to bed, and he had been using his four fingers to illustrate to those that asked him how old he was. He would tell them that he was 4. So on the night of the eve of his birthday, his mother was putting him to sleep, and she said, "You're going to go to sleep tonight, and you're going to be 4. But when you wake up tomorrow, do you know how old you will be?" And he said, "Yeah, I'm going to be a handful." I thought that was funny. Hope that landed. It's hard when there's no feedback from the audience, but I thought it was funny. So for all the mothers who have their hands full out there, we celebrate Mother's Day. We celebrate you. If you're a mother and you're listening to this, thank you for your time. And thank you for watching and listening, and hopefully an impact is being made on your life. But a mother called by God. So what is that? First, a mother called by God submits completely to God's will. When Mary was believed, the Bible doesn't really say, but it's believed that she was in her mid to late teens when she got married. So she was a teenager, and she was confronted with this challenge to be completely submitted to God's will. When Gabriel gave her the angelic message, the prophecy that she was to carry Jesus, carry Christ, obviously she's taken aback. She's stunned. This is a tremendous responsibility, and it's a lot of pressure on anyone, especially of a young woman of that age. But her response is incredible. Her response to Gabriel is simply, "I am the Lord's servant." So Mary never wavered from her complete submission to God's will. Was she nervous? Certainly. Was she unsure of her own abilities? Absolutely. Who wouldn't be? Was she anxious about the prophecy that the part of her future would include pain at birth? Of course. Mary was like any mother who sits up late at night, well past their bedtime, waiting for that date their child is on to be over. Or like a mother or father who stands on the porch or at the end of the driveway as they watch their child drive out into those dangerous streets for the first time. And they're saying prayers that they come home safely. Mary was like any parent watching or listening to this who wants only the best, only the most protection for her child, and fully aware that life happens and not all of life is pleasant. But Mary was unlike a lot of parents in the world today. Mary was first of all completely committed to God. She was so committed to God that she had no room for commitment to anything else. And that made her a mother worth imitating. So a mother called by God is first submissive completely to God's will. Second, a mother called by God does not have to be perfect. So many mothers out there, mine included, thinks that she has to be perfect in everything or she is somehow in her mind a failure. Mom, you are not a failure. You are amazing. You are a tremendous woman who instilled so many great qualities in me. Maybe they weren't shown when I was that rebellious teenager or a young adult. But the Bible says, train a child up in the way they should go and they will not depart from it. You have trained me when I was younger. I did not depart. And a lot of things that you taught me eventually did come to fruition and bloom. You are not a failure. None of you are. A good story about that is Dr. Carson, Dr. Ben Carson. Most of you know him as being on Trump's team, but he was also an incredibly world-renowned surgeon from Johns Hopkins, and he told a story about his mother. His mother insisted that him and his brother write a book report every couple of weeks. Now, these book reports were not for school. They were for their mother. So he and his brother dutifully obeyed, and around the time Dr. Carson was in junior high school, he finally realized something that was quite shocking to him, and that was that his mother could not read. For years, he and his brother had been reading books and scratching out reports, assuming that their mother was checking every word. But she didn't have a clue what was on those pieces of paper, what they were saying at all. Now, if he was raised by an illiterate mother, but he grew up to be the world-famous surgeon who was featured in many articles and the author of several books, she, as an illiterate mother, didn't twist her hands or throw her hands up in the air over her lack of learning in her life, over her lack of intelligence, and give up on raising intelligent boys. She instead gave her boys what she had. And what she had was to instill in them hard work, discipline, dedication, interest, accountability, responsibility. That's what she gave them. Even though she couldn't give them intellect, she gave them character. And I think character goes, or can go, or helps to go a long way in this life, more so than intelligence may ever do. Mary herself was not perfect. Despite the fact that she was the mother of Jesus, she herself was not perfect. Only her son was. When Jesus performed his first miracle, Mary's conversation might be the most unusual part of that water turned into wine story. Jesus said to her, Mary, "Woman, why do you involve me? It's not my time." I mean, think of the awkwardness of that. First off, if I ever would have said that to my mother, I don't know if she or my father would have gotten the belt first, but something would have happened. But the awkwardness of that situation and Mary's request and conversation with Jesus appears to be out of line with what Jesus was ready to do, and it's almost as if Jesus, even though he performed the miracle, it's almost as if he just did it because his mother put him on the spot, and he was trying to be, or to obey his mother, be submissive to her and do what she had asked, just as the Bible tells us to do. Honor thy father and thy mother. But she was not perfect. It wasn't his time to begin his ministry, and she kind of pushed him into it, and that is the start of his ministry, thus going further. You've made mistakes in the past, mothers out there, or anyone listening. You'll make more today. A couple of them. You're going to make more mistakes tomorrow. But through it all, God will love you. God will work with you, and He will accept you. Through it all, your task of mothering or of grandmothering, or of great grandmothering, or if you're a stepmother, or if you are an aunt, or if you are an impactful person in a young person's life, all you are trying to do will be accomplished as long as you put God on the forefront and you follow him. The rest will be taken care of. As long as you teach your child what is in the Bible and love them as the Bible has instructed and love them unconditionally with all your heart, the first job as a parent is to show up and just love. And as long as you can do that, you'll be okay. You'll be okay. Number 3. Last point here. A mother called by God never relinquishes the title. Near the foot of the cross, when Jesus was crucified, stood Mary. And she didn't stand there stoically and passively like a statue at the foot of this cross, as if she were already made out of stained glass. She crumbled herself at the foot of this cross, fell down to her knees, put her face in the mud, and was moaning and wailing and begging the God of heaven to stop her hell on earth, the worst day of her life. The truth of Simeon's prophecy at the birth of Jesus was suddenly true, and the cross cut deeply into Mary's heart. Despite that pain, however, Mary was there. She was a mother from the beginning, and she was a mother at the end, all the way through. A mother called by God never relinquishes the title. And you'll see mothers like this in the halls of children's hospitals. Or you'll see them in funeral homes or in counselors' rooms in schools. Mothers never relinquish the title, even if the child is rebellious or harsh or cruel or going down the wrong path, or no matter what the situation or how bad the child is, a mother can never stop being a mother. Her heart just will not allow it. Not when she is called by God. When a woman becomes a mother, or even when a man becomes a father, there is an instant realization that the day will come where there will almost certainly be pain in the picture. The crosses are different for every family, but frankly, the crosses come. There may be a divorce, there may be disease or death. There may be harsh words and unacceptable actions. There may be tough love and impossible nights. But through it all, mothers called by God never relinquish the title. Never. There is nothing like a mother's love. And I know I am still blessed enough to have my mother on this earth with me. There are others who have lost their mothers out there. I've lost both of my grandmothers. It's very sad when you think about it, but it's also a time to rejoice because someday soon we will meet with them again in heaven, and that'll be the best Mother's Day ever. So I think the verse from the Bible that most accurately describes a mother's love is 1 Corinthians 13, 4-8. And that is, love is patient, love is kind. It does not envy, it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. It is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. Love does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. It always protects, always trusts, always hopes, and always perseveres. Love never fails. And if you would just take love out of that verse and put the word mom in, that's a great verse. And I'm going to reread it one more time, and I'm going to put that in. Mom is patient, mom is kind. She does not envy, she does not boast, she is not proud. She does not dishonor others, she is not self-seeking. She is not easily angered, she keeps no record of wrongs. Mom does not delight in evil, but rejoices with the truth. She always protects. She always trusts. She always hopes. She always perseveres. Mom never fails. I hope you all enjoyed this short message this week. Again, this is still I know I haven't been posting with the regularity that I was posting with, and I do apologize. It's a very hectic time for me, both at work and in my personal life. I'm a coach of a football team that's getting ready to start up. My son is also in baseball, so those are kind of overlapping. So very hectic right now, but still trying to make time for God. We'll always do that. We'll always make Him a priority. And I will not quit doing this. I know that there are some gaps here from when you're expecting videos, and I do apologize. I will get better, I promise. These will start to come back out with more regularity. So hang in there with me. If you like today's message, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell that lets you get notified every time there is a new video that comes out. Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. We love you. We thank you for what you do. And have a wonderful and blessed Mother's Day weekend. Thank you.